Here are 10 of the longest barrel artillery pieces ever built, each a testament to extreme engineering and military ambition. These colossal weapons were designed for maximum range, often mounted on railways or heavy platforms. With this short intro, let's get started. At number 10, the M65 Atomic Annie. The M65 Atomic Annie was a remarkable American heavy-towed artillery piece designed in the early 1950s and first deployed to West Germany, Korea, and Okinawa between 1955 and 1962. Weighing approximately 83.3 tons, 172,865 pounds, and mounted on a carriage nearly 26 meters long. It featured a 280mm caliber barrel, capable of firing both nuclear and conventional shells. Its primary armament was the W9 nuclear warhead, delivering a 15 to 20 kiloton yield over ranges approaching 20 miles, or 32 kilometers. On May 25, 1953, the Grapple test at Nevada test site marked the only operational firing of a nuclear shell from Atomic Annie, with the shell traveling 7 miles. It is the 10th longest barrel-length artillery, measuring 12 meters. Number 9. The BL 18-inch railway howitzer. This was a British railway gun developed during World War I and remained in limited service into World War II. It fired massive 457mm 18-inch shells and featured a barrel length of approximately 16 meters. Each round weighed around 1,340 kilograms, 2,950 pounds, and could reach targets over 20 kilometers away. Mounted on a railway chassis, it was moved into firing position and stabilized for recoil. Only a handful were built, with some seeing service as coastal defense guns. Its weight is 85.7, making it one of the heaviest mobile artillery systems ever deployed. It required a large crew and extensive support infrastructure. Though obsolete by World War II, the few remaining units served more as psychological deterrents than tactical weapons. Number 8. The BL 18-inch Mark I naval gun. This was the largest naval gun ever mounted on a British warship. Designed near the end of World War I, it had a caliber of 457mm and a barrel length of 18.3 meters, 60 feet. Only 3 were built and fitted to the monitor HMS Furious. It fired 1,500 kilogram shells with a range of up to 37 kilometers depending on the elevation. Each weighed approximately 151 tons, requiring special mounts. Firing rates were extremely low due to loading and targeting constraints. They saw limited action and were phased out by 1947. Despite their short service, they represent Britain's peak in naval gun caliber. Number 7. The 16-inch or 45 caliber Mark I, 5, and 6 naval gun. Used by the U.S. Navy on Colorado-class battleships, the 16-inch 45 caliber guns had barrels measuring 18.69 meters. Introduced in the 1920s, they fired 406mm shells weighing up to 1,225 kilograms or 2,700 pounds. With an effective range of up to 33 kilometers, they played significant roles in World War II. Shells could be armor-piercing or high-explosive, launched at up to 792 meters per second. Each turret had 3 guns, requiring advanced loading systems and a large crew. It became obsolete by the post-war era, replaced by longer-barreled versions. The Mark VI and Mark VIII variants followed for new battleships. Their service ended with the decommissioning of their class. These guns set the standard for pre-World War II American naval firepower. Number 6. The 2A3 Condensator 2P. The Soviet Union responded shortly after the US debuted its M65 cannon by unveiling the massive self-propelled 2A3 Condensator 2P, also known as Object 271. It entered service in 1956. The system featured a gargantuan 406mm caliber barrel stretching about 20 meters across its chassis. Weighing in at roughly 64 tons and crewed by 8 personnel, this mobile marvel was intended to fire nuclear-capable shells to distance 30 kilometers. In the mid-1960s, all 4 condensator howitzers were officially retired, with one of these formidable weapons finding a lasting place on a static display at the Central Armed Forces Museum in Moscow. Number 5. The 16-inch 50 caliber Mark II 7 naval gun. The 16-inch 50 caliber Mark II and later Mark VII were the most powerful U.S. naval guns ever deployed. With barrels 20.32 meters or 66.6 feet long, they equipped Iowa-class battleships and entered service during World War II. Firing 2,700 pounds, 1,225 kilogram armor-piercing shells at up to 38 kilometers, these guns were unmatched in range and accuracy. The Mark VII variant featured an upgraded breech and high-pressure chamber. Each gun weighed over 122 tons and required extensive turret systems. They achieved a firing rate of 2 rounds per minute per barrel. Used in Korea and later conflicts, they remained active until 1992. These guns had a muzzle velocity of 760 meters per second and massive recoil management. Despite their power, they were retired due to the shift towards missiles. They remain among the most iconic naval guns in history. Number 4. The 16-inch gun M1919. This was a U.S. coastal defense gun built after the World War I, with a 50 caliber barrel measuring 20.32 meters. It was designed to protect key harbors and coast from naval attack. Shells weighed around 2,100 to 2,340 pounds or 950 to 1,060 kilograms and had ranges up to 45 kilometers. Its total mass is 484 tons. It had limited elevation and traversed due to fixed emplacements. These guns saw limited action and were quickly surpassed by mobile artillery and missile systems. Most were removed from service after World War II. The M1919 was notable for being America's longest-range coastal gun, and only one barrel survives today at the Aberdeen Proving Ground. Number 3. The 46cm or 45 Type 94 naval gun. Japan's 46cm or 45 Type 94 naval gun was the largest caliber naval gun ever deployed, used on the battleships Yamato and Musashi. It had a caliber of 460mm, with a barrel length of 20.7 meters. These guns fired shells weighing 1,460 kilograms to a range of 42 kilometers at 45-degree elevation. Each turret housed 3 guns and weighed 2,774 tons, including loading systems. The gun itself weighed 147 tons and had a rate of fire of 1.5 to 2 rounds per minute. Shell types included armor-piercing and high-explosive. Only 2 ships ever carried them due to size and cost. These guns contributed to the legend of the Yamato, though neither ship survived the war. No complete gun survives today. Their power remains unmatched in naval artillery history. Number 2. The Schwerer Gustav or Dora. Schwerer Gustav, also known as Dora, was a German railway siege gun built by Krupp, with a barrel length of 32.5 meters and a caliber of 800 millimeters. It fired 7-ton shells up to 47 kilometers, meant to destroy fortifications like the French Maginot Line. The gun weighed over 1,350 tons. Only 2 units were completed and used during World War II, and in 1942 it bombarded Sevastopol with 48 shells, reportedly destroying underground bunkers. Gustav was never used again in combat due to logistical burdens. The second unit, Dora, was never fired in war. Both were destroyed by the Germans to avoid capture by the Soviet Red Army. No complete guns survives, only fragments. It remains the largest caliber gun ever used in combat. At number 1, the Paris gun. The Paris gun was a German long-range siege weapon used during World War I to bombard Paris from over 120 kilometers away. Its caliber was 211, 238 mm, with a barrel extended to 34 meters, including inserts. It fired lightweight shells that reached up to 130 kilometers, the longest artillery range of the war. Despite its size, it was more of a terror weapon than a precision instrument. Accuracy was poor, but its psychological impact was immense. Each shot required replacing part of the barrel, due to extreme wear. Only a few were built, and their fate remains largely unknown. It was mounted on a railway carriage and hidden in forest for camouflage. Shells traveled so high that they left the stratosphere briefly. The Paris gun was the forerunner to modern long-range artillery and missile development. With this, we're signing off for today, but don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye-bye.